So lately I have been angry at a few people. I've been angry at loved ones, at friends, at people I actually care about. And if I'm being honest, I've been angry at myself because I think it's a matter of boundaries. And I'm the kind of person who constantly gives chances to people that even when I see red flags, I'm quick to say, oh, no one is perfect. If I was in their situation, I would want another chance. And I'm very quick to give chances to people. And in the end, it bites me. It bites me right back. And I think where I am, I should have learned my lesson, but I don't really know why I haven't. And so today it blew up on me. And as I was talking to God, and I was complaining to God, and I was like, hey, God, why do people keep doing this and this and that? People keep repeating the same mistakes. Now people keep putting me in the same situations. And I was really ranting out to my Father. And He called me out and He said, fine, they have done that. But what have you done to protect yourself? What boundaries have you kept in place? And even if there's been boundaries, why have you allowed these people to keep crossing them? And God called me out. He said, even if we are pointing fingers at everybody else, I think you should point fingers at yourself too. That when your hand goes like this, there are three fingers that are pointing back at you. And as you're calling everyone else a villain, I think you should also consider that you have also been wrong in many ways. And so I had gone in the place of prayer to be able to forgive others. But I've left that place for repenting. I've left that place repenting. I've left that place saying, I own up my part of the problem and my part of the mistake. I own it up and I take responsibility for what I've done wrong as well. And that was something. That was something because I thought I was going to be able to forgive and be able to rant out and say, he did this, she did this, they did that, they said this, until I was called out. And so someone asked me in the comment sections of the previous video to talk about forgiveness. And here's the truth about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not an event. It's not a one-time event. It's a journey. And I think when I learned that, it gave me a lot of relief. Because we have been taught that we need to forgive immediately and forget, right? But that's not it. God is very patient with us. God is very patient with us. And I think if we are trying to emulate the steps of Jesus, we also need to understand that He loves us and He's kind to us, and we should treat ourselves the same way. Jesus is not happy that someone hurt you. And so He understands the pain. He walked this earth for Him to understand the pain of how you're feeling. And so He knows. The Bible says He was tempted in every way. And so He knows what you're going through. And if you're not able to forgive today, forgive every time you remember. So every time you remember, you forgive again. Every time you hear the name mentioned and your heart still, you forgive again. Every time it comes back to you, every time there's a trigger, you forgive again. Forgiveness is a journey. And even as you're forgiving, you have to remember that look inwards. You have to look inwards and say, what was my part in this? Because sometimes we are quick to think of ourselves as perfect and the other person is the one on the wrong. Sometimes, if not always, look inwards and say, what role did I play in this? It could have been that you never did something wrong, but you allowed your boundaries to be broken after you had promised yourself, no one is going to pass these boundaries. But you gave in and you wronged that to yourself. And so as you learn to forgive others, learn to forgive yourself as well. And remember, forgiveness is not an event. It is a journey. It is a journey. I was reading a book called The Bait of Satan by a man called John Beaver, and he gave a story of himself and how he grew up being abused by someone, and it was so hard for him to forgive that person. And he gave himself a 6 weeks challenge. So every day he would pray, every good thing he prays for himself, he prayed for this other person. The first week he prayed, he saw him, he felt, Second week, so that week. But the time the sixth week was coming, he saw the person and he went and said, "Can I hug you?" And the person was surprised. And I took up that challenge last year. And I think it's time I take it again. And as I say this to myself, I say it to you as well. Every good thing you pray for yourself, pray for that other person. It is painful, but it is worth it. And that is what being Christ-like looks like. He's saying, oh, I want to be submitted and surrendered to Christ. I pray for that person who wronged me. Mention them by name. If you can't mention the offense itself and say, may they never go through what they made me go through, I pray the best thing for them. Forgiveness is not easy, but with Christ you can do it. And again, here I am sharing another wound, and I hope it heals you. And I saw a book called The Wounded Healer, and I tend to think of myself as the wounded healer. So here I am, the wounded healer, healing you with my wounds, and I hope this helps you. God bless you. See you on the next one. Baraka, bye.